Hi everyone and welcome back to our Monk in Cloud. I'm Yeshwanth, and if you're here, you're likely setting your sights on one of the most in-demand certifications in cloud world, which is the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate exam, specifically SAA examination. So this cert is a fantastic way to validate your skills in building robust and well-architected solutions on AWS. As an AWS Solutions Architect, your role is all about understanding customer requirements and then leveraging the vast array of AWS services to create infrastructure that's not just functional, but also efficient, secure, reliable, fault tolerant, and cost effective. So these principles are going to be at heart of your SAA examination. Now, when it comes to study materials, I think of official AWS documentation that includes white papers and FAQs as your primary go-to. They're gold mines of information. And honestly, on the experience building system in AWS, that's going to be your incredibly valuable, especially for scenario-based questions you will encounter in the examination. So that will be a gem of a resource for you. And for the most up-to-date details on the examination itself, definitely check out the official examination guide on the AWS certification website. It's crucial for understanding the exam structure and what to expect. So if you're relatively new to AWS, I highly recommend starting with free AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Essential Digital course. It's an interactive way of understanding and learning AWS, and it covers fundamentals of AWS cloud concepts, services, security, architecture, pricing, and including the support as well. So by completing this, you can gain an excellent first step before diving into the SAA or Solutions Architect examination. So the internet is full of best course, right? So recommendations for SAA or Certified Solutions Architect Associate. But here are some of the key tips that you need to consider. Always verify the information directly with the official AWS certification website. So some of the resources might be outdated and won't cover the latest examination topics. And the official SAA C03 examination page is where you will find the most current examination guide, sample questions, and also link to schedule your examination itself. So always go straight to the source and verify it. And if you ask me what is the best resource for me to learn AWS, I would recommend one of the courses that I've already used and I've used to pass my certificate associate level and also the professional level, which is Adrian Cantrell's. I highly recommend, if you are okay to purchase a resource, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and purchase Adrian Cantrell's courses. If required, I'll also give you the link in the description. Please go ahead and purchase the course. It's a gem of a resource. Trust me, it has got a lot of information outside the certification as well. In general, that course is good for you to understand what exactly they're expecting. And I'm sure if you go through all the content, including all the videos and all the projects, I'm sure you will have more than enough knowledge to clear associate level of examination. And that's about it. So I will provide the link to the course in the description box below. You can go ahead and check that out. So verify the content and only then go ahead and purchase it. Do not just, take my words right away. And for the certified associate examination, you will need to be familiar with a wide range of services. Some services that are specifically highlighted for this examination includes a global accelerator and elastic fabric adapter. In the short, it is called as EFA. And you should also be knowing about elastic network adapter. If you're making a note of it, just make a list of all these services that I'm talking about. Just go and do some research on it, and then you'll be good to go. And you'll also want to upskill on AWS Parallel Cluster, Amazon FSx, AWS Data Sync, AWS Directory Services, and also high performance compute. You will get a lot of questions on high performance compute. And then Aurora Serverless, which is, the most asked questions. You can expect a lot of questions on Aurora Serverless. And beyond those, let's talk about the absolute core AWS services you will want to master for this particular certification. So think of these as your foundational knowledge, right? So the very first service is EC2. It's a bedrock of, compute on AWS. You will need to know EC2 inside out, instance types, AMI, storage, networking, you need to know in and out about EC2. That's all I can say. Next is Lambda. It's a go-to for serverless applications. Understand how it integrates with other AWS services to build complete serverless solutions. And you should also learn about Elastic Load Balancer, which is called as ELB. It's essential for highly available systems. And you should dive into different types like application load balancer, network load balancer, gateway, classic, and their unique features. What is different from the other load balancer? You need to be knowing that. Next is auto scaling. How do you scale your application efficiently, right? So know what services can be auto scaled and what triggers scaling actions on how it manages instance counts. That is very, very crucial. And Elastic Block Storage, EBS, it's a primary storage for your EC2. You need to be familiarizing yourself with EBS volume types, crucial aspects like how do you secure, how do you encrypt your volume, how do you back up the EBS volumes and restore your EBS volume from the backup and all those things. Next, S3 and Glacier. AWS offers various S3 storage classes to meet different needs, right? So understand these differences and the powerful capabilities of S3 like static website hosting, access policies, and lifecycle management, right? So S3 is a big one, so learn as much as you can before the examination. Next, storage gateway. You want to understand its use case and when to choose it over direct S3 or EBS, right? So also know the distinctions between data sync and storage gateway. Though there are a lot of difference here. So try to understand when to use data sync and when to use storage gateway. Next is EFS, another storage service often associated with EC2 directly. So understand when to use EFS compared to S3 or EBS or your instance store. So exam questions often involve, cost and efficiency trade-offs and things like that. Next, coming to database, you need to be aware of RDS and Aurora. Differentiate between the various RDS databases and how they compare to Aurora. So what makes Aurora unique and when should you prefer it based on function, speed, or cost? So don't forget parameter groups, option groups, and subnet groups. These are very, very crucial information going to the examination. The next, talking about another database is DynamoDB. Expect a good number of questions on DynamoDB. Understand how it compares with RDS, Elastic Cache, and Redshift. It's a common partner for serverless applications with Lambda, right? Next is Elastic Cache. So get more comfortable with Elastic Cache, especially with Redis and its function. Think about where caching can optimize your entire architecture, like for managing ELB session state or improving RDS performance and things like that. Next, coming to the networking part, make yourself aware of VPC, NACL, and security groups. Understand each and everything under VPC. It's your network foundation, right? Study all the components of VPC, subnets, route tables, internet gateways, NAT gateways, NAT instances, and VPN gateways. Crucially, try to understand the differences between NACL and security groups and when to apply each of them. And talking about networking, another aspect is Route 53, of course, DNS, managed DNS service. Master the different types of records and the routing policies that are available in Route 53. know what hosted zones are and the domains. And what happens when you type, google.com or amazon.com on browser, need to be aware of that. IAM, so you need to be aware of IAM users, groups, policies, roles, and paramount, right? So understand how IAM integrates with other services to secure your applications and familiarize yourself with IAM best practices. That's very, very crucial. You should also learn how monitoring is done in AWS. So CloudWatch is a crucial one. Understand what is metrics, what is CloudWatch logs, CloudWatch alarms, and custom metrics in via the CloudWatch agent. So all of this you can find videos on my YouTube channel as well. So you can go through AWS playlist and you will find a lot of tutorials, hands-on tutorials, understanding CloudWatch and things like that. Next is CloudTrail. Familiarize yourself with how CloudTrail works and the types of logs it stores, distinguishing them from CloudWatch logs. And you should also learn about Kinesis, have a high-level understanding of Kinesis data streams, including sharding and how the different Kinesis services function. Next important thing is CloudFront. Understand how CloudFront accelerates content delivery, its content sources, and it's the type of SSL certificate it accepts, right? So talking about SQS, explore how SQS helps decouple system in AWS. Understand message management with standard FIFO and dead letter queues. Also know the differences between SQS, SNS, SES, and Amazon MQ. Next, you need to also study the functions of SNS and its integrations, right? So be familiar with the supported recipients of the SNS notifications, and also make yourself aware of SWF, CloudFormation, OpsWork. Understand the functions, capabilities, and the use cases of these services. Have a high-level grasp of common scenarios where each is being used. So based on my own experience, what I've seen, you'll also want to be very clear on the differences and appropriate use cases for these frequently compared services. For example, AWS Data Sync versus Storage Gateway, FSx cold and hot storage considerations, cross-region read replicas versus multi-AZ RDS, especially with Hoffer's high availability, right? And Amazon object keys versus object metadata, direct connect versus site-to-site VPN, AWS config versus AWS CloudTrail, security group versus NACL, and NAT gateway versus NAT instances, a geolocation routing policy versus geo proximity routing policy on Route 53, etc. Again, the official documentation and FAQs are your primary sources. Beyond that, consider reputable resources that I already talked about, Adrian Cantrell's course that offer cheat sheets or go through the content. And then this is a big one, right? So practice exam are essential. So aim for consistent high scores. You can pick up Udemy practice tests as well to understand how questions will be there on the examinations, and which will make you aware of the questions as well. Finally, I can't stress this enough. Get hands-on. So if you do not have an AWS account already, sign up for an AWS free trial account and perform the lab exercises. Like whatever you learn, just make it hands-on. Experiencing these services firsthand will solidify your understanding and help you remember what each service is truly capable of. And it makes a huge difference, right? So reading something and trying something has a lot of difference. So that's it. That's the best advice that I can give you. And that's it for your AWS certified, Solutions Architect Associate study guide and tips. And I wish you all the best on your examination. If you find this video helpful, please like this video, subscribe to a Monk in Cloud YouTube channel, and share it with anyone else on the AWS certification journey. And I'll see you in the next one. But before that, If you are a voracious reader and if you want the same content to be available, I've also created this, blog post. You can also go through this. Whatever I just, talked about, it's also written here. You can check out the same thing, and you can also follow me on dev.to as well. So that's it I had for this video. If you're liking the content that I'm creating, please consider subscribing and share it with your friends. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.